Hi, my name's Neil. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a 45-year-old skateboarder who has discovered skateboarding again after like a 25-year break. I've been skating now again for about 6 years, and I've been documenting the whole thing on this YouTube channel. Recently, I've been going back through the previous year, 2023, and taking a look month by month at my progress. I tend to film almost every session and then kind of group them together in these videos and sort of reflect month by month and just see if I've made some progress. So this month's video is October, and this is actually part 3. So if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, or even any of the other previous videos, feel free to go back and check those out on my channel. But yeah, as I say, this is part 3, and the footage we're going to take a look at first is from a session at Bay 66 skate park, which is my local skate park in central London, and there's a lot of nice stuff there, but I really just skate in the bowl or the mini ramp. I'm only a transition skater. I don't really skate street at all. So yeah, it's all bowls and mini ramps, vert ramps for me. But yeah, this session I started filming when I was practicing some board slides in the deep end of the mini ramp. And that mini ramp is about 5 or 5.5 foot deep. It's probably about the same depth as the shallow end of the Crystal Palace pool that I skate quite regularly. However, the transition is slightly different, so it just feels a little bit easier to do things there. Plus, it's a wood surface. It just doesn't hurt if you fall off. You know, you can slide out of it pretty well without too much damage. So yeah, I was practicing to do longer board slides in that deep end. That park is a little bit weird in the sense that all the metal coping gets waxed by rollerbladers all the time, like incessantly. So all the coping is very, very slippery, and you can't skate it like a regular park. But rather than fight it, because it's fighting a losing battle, I've got used to just skating it, which means that board slides can be very long if you can control it. And I'm sort of learning to control them a lot better with that very waxy coping. I do ride rails on my board as well, which means that the slide is more consistent, if not a little bit more scary for people that aren't used to riding rails. But I'm very used to them, and I couldn't board slide without them. And the wax factor, yeah, adds more to it, but I've just kind of got used to it. So I'm basically practicing doing longer slides because of that wax. So I started off in the deep end of that mini ramp there, doing some board slide fakies and some rock and roll slides. And then I moved into the deep end of the bowl, and it's the same story with the coping there, super waxy, super slippery, but that is higher. So it's probably about 6 feet, maybe 6.5 feet high, but it's the same situation. So yeah, I was just practicing some of that stuff there as well. And then I thought to finish up, I would try and do some frontside airs. So I was just practicing popping those in the deep end there, and then practicing them over the hip. But yeah, let's take a look at the footage and see how it went. right. That was a lot of fun. I was really quite happy that I was getting those board slides a lot better and feeling a lot more comfortable in the deep end of the bowl as well to do some stuff. Popping those frontside airs was pretty throwaway, but it was just good to kind of get the feeling of actually launching out of them and just popping off the coping, but just something to be working on. I hadn't really been practicing them very much because when I bail frontside airs, I tend to come down quite heavily on one knee, which took its toll really and gave me quite a knee injury, and that's recovered now, but I didn't want to push it too hard and re-injure myself because it makes it really annoying for anything else. But yeah, it's good to just kind of throw some out there and get used to it every now and again. Okay, and the next session was at Skateroom Skate Park again on the vert ramp at Caterham in Surrey. And much like the previous sessions you might have seen in the other videos, I was back on practicing the 50/50s on the vert ramp. Now, I always have these sessions that are kind of up and down. I'm sure many people do, where some sessions are good, some are just not going anywhere. And this session actually turned out to be probably one of the best ones I've ever had in the sense of the 50/50s. I somehow managed to be doing 2, 3, I think 4 in a row at one point, and they just kept coming. So I was doing lots and lots of 50/50s on both walls. Normally I only do them on the near side wall, but I thought I need to try and do like 2 in a row. So one off the near side wall and then one off the far wall. And yeah, I think at one point I actually did 4 in a row maybe. So things were looking really good, and I completely surprised myself. I just think it was a lot to do with the kind of attitude that I went into it, my kind of feeling of that day, my sort of mental state of like how I was gonna approach it. And then once I started to enjoy myself, they really started coming and it started going well. And for me, that's a massive part of a skate session on something like a vert ramp. I don't struggle anywhere as much as I do on the vert ramps, and I have to be feeling good about it to do anything any good. So if there's something going on in my mind, it will be a terrible session, and it doesn't take much to turn it that way. So yeah, I mean, people talk about mental health, but it does affect the way I skate an awful lot, and no more so than on a vert ramp. Anywhere else I'm generally okay, but if things aren't going well on the vert ramp, no luck in resurrecting that, to be honest. So some sessions I will spend the whole session trying to get one 50/50 grind, and luckily enough this day they just kept coming, so I can probably put that down to being probably my best bunch of 50/50s I've done so far, which is cool. So let's go and check out that footage. right, so yeah, that was a good session. I, got those 50/50s really going quite well. I tried to throw a couple of rock and roll slides up there, which they don't feel anywhere near the same to do on a vert ramp as they do on the mini ramps. I can do them fairly well on the mini ramps, really easily on small stuff, not too bad on the deeper end of the bowl at base 66, but the vert ramp is really nowhere near. In the mini ramps, I'm much more on top, and I find that really difficult in the vert ramps. I tend to always feel like I'm in the ramp so much that getting on top is like a whole other game. Even doing them really quickly, sort of get out with not much of a slide, it's just not what I want to be doing. I need to get better at doing them on bigger stuff that's slightly smaller than the vert ramps, or just work out a way of getting better at them where I can get on top of them on the bigger stuff. So that's still a massive work in progress, but it was a very successful session and I was really happy about how it went down. So anyway, that's the end of part 3 of the October video. It's been quite a long series of videos because I did quite a lot of sessions in that month, but I hope you enjoy watching these look back at the year, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you think you see progress. I think it's pretty slow going, but I feel like there's progress. I'll see you again very soon for the November video, and I'll squeeze some other stuff in between as well. If you're interested to see what I'm doing on a more day-to-day basis, then follow me on Instagram. Look at my YouTube shorts as well. I tend to post up short clips of stuff as it happens on Instagram and YouTube shorts. The links are below, but I think if you just search for Neil Hester Skateboarding, you'll find me. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Take care.